everyone, welcome back. I don't know about you, but I am ready for spring and Easter. The weather is getting just a touch warmer and the sun is staying up for a lot longer. So I did 5 brand new Dollar Tree Easter DIYs for you guys. If you're new here and you like home decor and DIYs on a budget, stick around by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications. All right, let's get into it. For this first DIY, I'm going to use 2 of these wooden picture frames from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove the back and the insert from one of them, and I'm going to keep the glass because I'm going to use that later, but the rest of it I don't need. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint the wooden frame with some of this green mossy chalk paint that I had on hand, and I just gave it 1 coat. Now with the other frame, I'm going to go ahead and remove the backing and the insert, and I'm not going to use the frame, I'm just going to use the glass out of that frame. So I'm going to take one of the pieces of glass and I'm going to glue that down on the inside of my painted frame. So you can put whatever you'd like inside this picture frame, but I'm going to go with this assorted paper cardstock from Dollar Tree. I chose the lightest color out of it. And now I'm going to go to canva.com and I'm going to create a custom design. So I just went to create a design and then custom size. And then for the width, I'm going to select 5.5 inches by 6 inches in length, and that's roughly the size of the cardstock. So once I do that, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on elements, and then you can type in whatever picture you'd like at the top there. I just put in rabbit, you can put in Easter, whatever you'd like, and you can just scroll through. Now the ones with a crown on them, you do have to pay for it. It's part of their pro plan, but if you select those 3 little lines up there, you can click on free to filter out all of the free designs. So you just choose your design and then you can resize it however you'd like. I chose this bunny. This one is part of the pro plan, so it is not free, but you can choose whatever you'd like. They have tons of different options. I just resized it. I didn't want it huge to fit the whole piece of paper. I want to leave some room around the top and the edges for something different. I did add the words Happy Easter to mine, and they have a bunch of different texts that you can use. And then you're just going to go click share and then download your design. And then once you get it downloaded, you just find it on your computer and you click on it to print it, and you want to make sure that you change your paper size on your printer to the 5.5 by 6, and then you can print it out on your cardstock, load that up into the printer, and it comes out just like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and tear the edges of my cardstock to make it look a little more vintage, but also to fit inside my frame a little bit better. Once that's tore, I just am going to place that upside down on my glass, and then I'm going to take that other piece of glass from the other frame and hot glue that inside of the frame, and it comes out looking like this. Now I'm just going to take this lace ribbon from Dollar Tree to create a hanger for my frame. I just hot glued the lace ribbon onto the back of the frame, and then with the rest of the ribbon in this pack, I just tied a little bow to hot glue at the top of the hanger there. There isn't much lace ribbon in this pack, so it worked out perfectly for this frame. And I absolutely love how it turned out. I think it is pretty and elegant and gives a little bit of a vintage Easter vibe with the torn paper, and I think it's perfect for Easter. For this next DIY, I'm going to use the 24-inch stacked egg decor from Dollar Tree in the plus section. And I am going to use some of this craft fabric from Dollar Tree as well. So I decided to use some Mod Podge and wrap each one of my eggs in the fabric. I used 1 piece of fabric to do the small egg, and I just applied the Mod Podge over the egg entirely, and then I placed the fabric over the top of the egg, and then I just bunched it down at the bottom. Now it will have some creases down around the egg, but I didn't mind that. I thought it made it look more vintagey and shabby chic. So I just bunched it up and then I cut off the excess fabric at the bottom. And then I just used more Mod Podge and Mod Podged everywhere around it, all over it, because the Mod Podge dries clear, so you won't be able to see it once it dries. And then for the second egg, I did the same exact thing I did to the first egg, and again, just applying so much Mod Podge. I used that whole bottle for the smaller egg and the medium size egg to apply the fabric. I just cut the excess fabric off of the medium egg, and then since there was a hole in that medium egg, I went ahead and cut that out as well. Moving on to the big egg, I did have to use 2 pieces of fabric in another new bottle of the Mod Podge, which is the small bottles from Dollar Tree, and it's the matte finish that I used for the Mod Podge. And all I'm going to do is just apply the Mod Podge all over the egg like I did with the other ones, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap the fabric around the side instead of the top of the egg. And then I'm just gonna place some more Mod Podge all over the fabric, and then just lifting the fabric and applying more Mod Podge so that way the fabric stays in place really well. There is less wrinkling on the big egg, but it still ends up looking all cohesive in the end. So I think it all blends well and nicely together. Now I'm going to take another piece of fabric after I applied some more Mod Podge to the section of the egg that didn't have any fabric on it. And I'm just going to lay that piece of fabric over that section, overlapping with the fabric that's already on the egg. And then for the edges, I just went ahead and folded them over so it had a nice seam, and then I just painted over some more Mod Podge. Again, Mod Podge is your friend and it will help glue everything down and dry clear. So I used a ton of it. I just did the same thing to the other side of the edge and folded that over. And then I just cut the excess fabric from around the top again. I folded the other excess fabric underneath the egg since you won't be able to see it. And then I was able to stack my eggs up. And I think this turned out really pretty. Again, it kind of looks vintagey and shabby chic and just really pretty and springy for Easter. I love the colors on this fabric. The next DIY, I'm going to use some more of that same craft fabric from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut a little slit, and then I'm going to tear strips of this fabric. And I ended up tearing about 16 strips off of this one piece of fabric. And all you have to do is just use some scissors to get it started, and then you just rip it and it just comes right off. And you want to do about 1-inch sections. Mine, I didn't measure or anything, so mine are give or take 1 inches. Maybe they're more like 1/2 inch in some of them, but the thicker they are, the better that the bow's gonna turn out, because that's what I'm gonna do with these. I'm going to take these strips of fabric and I am just gonna tie a bow. So I did the 2 bunny-eared bow. So I did the 2 bunny ears and then I wrapped it around each other and then tied it off. And then just before I pulled it completely tight, I made sure everything was facing the right direction, so that way none of the white side of the fabric was showing. And then I just cut off the ends to where I liked them into a point. And now I have 16 of these bows, and I'm going to take this white ribbon from Dollar Tree and I am just going to lay it out, and then I'm going to hot glue the bows onto the ribbon. And then once I had a couple of the bows on the ribbon, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue the ends of the bows to each other, so that way it keeps everything in place. And if you couldn't tell, I am making a bow garland. So I just went ahead and did that for all of the bows, and I just think this turned out really pretty and delicate. And Dollar Tree has so many different types of fabrics. You can customize this to match your decor, and it's easy and affordable to make. For this next DIY, I'm actually just going to give this little wicker resin bunny a makeover. This bunny is from the plus section from Dollar Tree for $5, and I like the bunny, but I just think it needs a little bit of a makeover to make it look a little more elegant. So I removed the bow from around its neck. It kind of was overtaking the bunny, so I just used a heat gun to melt the glue, but you could use a hair dryer if you didn't have a heat gun. And then I'm gonna go over this bunny with some brown acrylic paint just to make it look a little bit more like a basket and kind of give it a little bit more depth. You could use whatever color you had on hand or whatever matches your decor. So I just had this brown, and I think it works perfectly for a basket look for this bunny. So I went all over it, and then I took some of this lace ribbon from Dollar Tree and tied a new bow for my bunny. And I love how this looked. It really elevated the bunny and it matches my decor a lot better. So it just goes to show you, just with a little paint and a little time, you can change something and make it into something you love. For this last DIY, I'm going to use one of these pieces of wood from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to stain it with some of this early American stain. Just put one coat on it and let it dry. And then I have 4 of these bunny tails left over that came in a pack of like 12 from Dollar Tree last year. So I'm going to use those, and I'm going to hot glue them down onto my piece of wood. And then I have more of that fabric. So I don't know why I bought so much of this fabric. I guess I really liked it. Anyways, I'm gonna take a piece of it, and I cut like a square off, folded it in half, and then folded it 4 more times. So a total of 5 times. And then I'm gonna cut into the folded side and do kind of like an oval shape to the unfolded side. And then that way I'm gonna have basically one ear out of one piece, and then I'm going to fold it over and hot glue it so that way both sides of my bunny ear, because that's what I'm making out of this, is going to be have that floral pattern on it. And then I'm going to hot glue it, kind of pinch it in the middle and hot glue it so that way it kind of makes a pleat in the middle of the ear. And then I'm going to hot glue that ear down to the little bunny tail, and they're not going to be tails anymore. They're like bunny heads with little ears. So I just finished doing that with the fabric and hot gluing them down, and I think that this turned out really cute. It's something really simple to elevate your Easter decor, and it kind of ties everything into the rest of the fabric that I used for my DIYs, and I really love it. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments below which DIY was your favorite, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.